Hello and welcome back to Elden Ring. This is part 7 of our Dex run through the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. Last time we... it's been a few days. So I don't actually remember the specifics. I also did some grinding, as you can probably tell. So it might have been before this, actually. Yes. Okay, wow. Alright, so we started by getting the Bonnie Butchering Knife, the Tooth Whip, the Ash of War Raging Beast, Rabbit's Cannon, Greasemonger's Bell Bearing, the Hull Laden Necklace, the Ruins Map, the Ash of War Carrion Sovereignty, some Skidoo Tree Fragments, the Fire Knight Seal, the Death Mask Helm, the Mantle of Thorns, Sorcery, the ability to craft golden grease. We got an Iris of Grace, a America's Rune. We got Remembrance of the Shadow Sunflower, and Miquella's Great Rune. And we started off here at Bonnie Village, and we went up around, got here, went to the Church District, and all the way up to here. And since, after ending that part, before starting this part, I tried to do some grinding because I wanted to change up my weapons. And as you can probably tell by all the Mesmer stuff, I tried to get something from the Mesmer soldiers. I tried to get their Great Spear. I did not get a single Great Spear, however, I got 6 axes and 2 daggers. So instead, I went with this. The Pata, which you get with the Oathseeker Knight set. And you get that here at the Church of Benediction by starting, I believe, at Cliff Road Terminus and then just heading south. And it's a fist weapon. But unlike most fist weapons, it's not basically just your fist, because as you can tell, it's like a sword. So it's like a straight sword with the fist moveset. And I also got the Poison Flower Blooms twice on it. And as you can see, I put it as Blood Pata. And as you can see, I have 80 Dexterity, 20 Strength, 12 Arcane. And I'll say my initial impressions, you haven't seen it yet, but my initial impressions from killing Mesmer soldiers is that the damage seems alright. Could be a bit better, but that's probably because I have it as blood and not keen, which would be better for damage. And then for the Poison Flower Blooms twice, it's okay. It was very mediocre. And the damage was very inconsistent. And that was a problem I had, because sometimes I would hit a Mesmer soldier with it, and it would one-shot them, and then sometimes I would hit a Mesmer soldier with it, and it would take, like, a sixth of their health. So, not that good. Like that, just very inconsistent in its damage. But last time we got the Hull Laden Necklace, from Count Ymir at the Cathedral Manus Meter, and having gotten that, we can blow this horn. And I guess the Crimson Seed Talisman +1. And on my first character, I came here after getting the Whole Laden Necklace. And I didn't realize that you needed the Whole Laden Necklace. So on my second character, the one for co-op that I talked about in the first run, but didn't record, I came here before getting the Whole Laden Necklace and couldn't blow the horn, so that is something to take note of, I suppose. But here we can head over to Thiollier. I think that's how you pronounce his name, because we broke the Great Rune, so he's back to being loyal to St Trina.
Oh, are you not affected? Even with the spell broken, I'm feeling rather lost, haunted by memories of St Trina, her visage, her scent, the lure of velvety sleep. Would kindly Mikola chasten me for falling for St Trina, while knowing that she was the discarded half? The problem is, I simply cannot help it. I would sacrifice everything just to gaze upon her one last time.
Okay. Still really sad that he has a guaranteed death. And that means, well, guaranteed death and no bell bearing, so you can't get these after a certain point. Because I love using them on my second character. The one for co-op. Because if you try to go up to one of the ruined forges or like a cave, a fog wall blocks you from going in. And so I can just take a sip of that and then let the host go in. And it was fun. But here we can sit down. Can you not move?
I'm feeling rather lost of St Trina.
Alright, well, we can go here because there's a thing there, like a whole area, and I believe last time I mentioned that having grease, having like fire or magic or lightning or rot blood freezing grease, like having that on your quick item slot is really good if you use Mimic Tear, because Mimic Tear has an infinite amount of those. And it's just a nice, easy damage boost. We can continue it after killing this guy, because I don't want to look in the inventory with an angry enemy. Sir. I was about to say, these aren't that good for stance damage, I take it. Oh, that did not do as much damage as I thought it would. Still, he died. Hefty crackpot. But yeah, I had an idea after that the Blessing America completely restores HP and heals all ailments. More so focused on the restores all HP. Because one of the very few... I don't even want to say problems. One of the very few nitpicks you could even have with Mimic Tear is that they don't heal. But because they're willing to use items from your quick item bar, I figured, what if we put Blessing America on the quick bar, since Mimic Tear is an infinite amount? Like, Mimic Tear using an item doesn't make you lose the item. You still keep it. Eternal Sleep Grease. But I figured that'd be a good way to kind of cheese things a bit. And I'm pretty sure that Mimic Tear actually used it when I summoned them for some fights against Mesmer soldiers. The problem is they used the items right at the beginning, and they only used it once. Graces, they will apply multiple times. But the Blessing America, they only used once. Which was... I mean, unfortunate from a breaking the game standpoint, but very good for a balancing standpoint. So, can't complain about that. But they did use it. And I figured, since they used it, I might as well go over to Exalted Flesh, since that temporarily boosts physical attack. And I don't see why Mimic Tear wouldn't be willing to use that multiple times. And Mimic Tear does less damage than the player, because they tend to have lower damage but heightened defense. So, if they use Exalted Flesh, then they could just be a more defensive version of you. Right? Which, I actually don't remember what Exalted Flesh uses. Also don't have it. Oh, ooh, Golden Vow. Heavy this, we could have that for Mimic Tear. That could be another option. So we've got options for what to give Mimic here. And better to use whips against these enemies, because why not? Better poise damage. I thought I heard footsteps. See, he almost hit us. Oh, we did hear footsteps. There's just a guy below us. Hi there. You can die. Yeah, there's a decent amount of these enemies. Like, there's another two back there. These enemies are not in short supply. I was about to say, why am I still going up in blood loss? That didn't exactly make sense to me. It's probably a mechanic or special thing that these guys have. I just don't know about at the moment. That's probably it. But something else I should mention is I don't know what happened, but something about the game kind of died. You may have been able to pick it up at the beginning, but I have not played, or I haven't recorded in a decent bit. That's why I got flustered at the beginning, not remembering where I was, or like what I had been doing in the previous part. Because it's been like a week since I've recorded the last part. And the reason for that is I tried, or I don't want to say tried, but I went to go record a few days ago, and the game basically just died. And I tried again yesterday, and again, the game basically just died. I think that's where the weapon is, so we have to go get it. But what I mean by that is horrible frame drops and horrible stuttering, a bunch of like the game kept freezing. Just, it was not a good time. And my screen kept going black. And you might say, oh, well, I mean, if your screen was going black, I did the same thing. Oh my god. But you might say, oh, well, if your screen was going black, then maybe you just have a loose or like slightly broken HDMI cable. And the thing is, that's what I thought as well. But there's a problem with that idea. And the problem with that idea is that I've been on this computer every single day for like 5 to 10 hours every single day. And my screen has not gone black once. But I got on Elden Ring a few days ago. Screen went black. I got on yesterday. Screen went black. Got on today. Screen went black. Velvet Sword of St Trina. Yeah, so my screen keeps going black, but only when I play Elden Ring. And, I mean, a few days ago, when I got on, I was only on for like 20 minutes. And when I got on yesterday, I was on for like an hour and a half because I was trying to get the weapons. I was trying to get the Great Spear from the Mesmer soldiers. Sadly, did not work out. I was about to say, pretty sure you're a sniper. Oh. But yeah, so I was on... That went on for a while. But yeah, I was only on for a short period of time. But my screen went black. And today, I was about to open my map, but then they started shooting at us. Rude, rude, rude. Incredibly rude. I don't know why you would do that. Sir, I just wanted to open the map. Alright. Wait, I started... Like, when I got on today, I was at the Cerulean Coast. And I ran down to this point and over to the Finger Ruins of Rhea. And in that little trek, couldn't have taken more than like 10 minutes, my screen went black twice. Oh, thankfully it stopped and it hasn't done it again. But it's like as soon, not as soon, but very quickly after getting on Elden Ring, my screen just goes black. Once or twice. And it's done this... At this point, I think we can say consistently, because it's happened 3 times in a row. Honestly, you can probably pull out a bow and shoot those things. I want to see if... I just wanted to pull out a bow to shoot those things. I mean, we can still shoot that one. Yep. Alright, so... It's better to hang out up there, take out those enemies, than pull out a bow and shoot the ones down here. I tried locking onto them, but couldn't. But you don't need to do that with a bow, you can just aim down sights. Another reason that bows are better than most people give them credit for. Even though I didn't get to show it off there. Because I didn't take out the enemies. That's not a fault of the bow. That's I was doing menu stuff while there were aggressive enemies right next to me. So that's a me fault thing, not a bow fault thing. But anyways, as I was saying, I've been on this computer 5 to 10 hours a day, every day. And screen didn't go black once. But my screen goes black when I play Elden Ring. And so it's like, part of me kind of thinks that it's a loose HDMI cable, because why else would a screen go black? But part of me doesn't think that, because it's only Elden Ring. And if it was a loose HDMI cable, shouldn't the screen go black? Like, no matter what I'm doing, as long as the screen is on. So, I'm not knowledgeable with computers at all. 7 smithing stone 8's nice. I'm not knowledgeable with computers at all, and so I'm kind of conflicted on what this could be. Wrong way. But yeah, it kind of doesn't feel like an HDMI cable being loose or slightly broken. Because it's so Elden Ring specific. But either way, multi-layered ring of light. Jump. It was this way. Continue to make our way up. And yoink, yoink, yoink. Lots of items. And I didn't mention it at the time in the first run because I didn't realize it at the time. But one of my complaints with the base game was that there were certain crafting items, like feathers, that are useful in some things. I don't think I have any of them here because I tend to ignore most of the cookbooks, that's what they're called, if I don't use the stuff found in them. But there are certain crafting things that require, like, feathers. There's a few other ones that I just can't think of them right now, but feathers are the main ones. But my complaint was that, one, getting them was tedious and time consuming, and two, you couldn't buy them. They weren't difficult to get, they were just time consuming. But here, flight pinion, slumbering egg, you can just go around getting stuff from these guys. As you can see, I got like 2 or 3 feathers pretty easily. And resting resets all of them, meaning it's easy to grind the stuff from these guys. which is kind of nice. So that is a good thing that I've noticed before. I kind of don't want to go into this boss with the pata, since that's not a weapon I'm used to just yet. But I don't really want to go with curved swords. And so I don't really see a good option here. I mean, taking off Blessed Dew for Crimson Seed 1 and taking off Gold Scarab. Actually, since we have +1, we can put the normal one into storage. And we can do some menu shenanigans. Not much, just a little bit. But yeah, so now this will be straight up. Yeah, so that'll make things easier. Crimson Seed +1, Spell Drake +3, Dragon Crest Great Shield, and Pearl Drake +2. I'm trying to remember where these other ones are. It's either Bolt Drake or Pearl Drake. Oh no, I remember them. I was going to say, I think it's Bolt Drake or Pearl Drake that's in the Shadow Keep, in like a little hidden subsection. It's Bolt Drake, and then Pearl Drake is later also in Shadow Keep, and then Halig Drake is in the Hinterland. I am barely holding on. We have to strike our anime pose for us to properly drop in. Beautiful. And it might seem cheap, but I have absolutely no problem whatsoever summoning Mimic Tear. Especially for this boss, since I didn't enjoy them as much. I get that they have weird timings on purpose, but just because the weird timings are intentional doesn't mean I enjoy the weird timings. Especially with how we don't get Torrent, but they get a horse, and they're constantly running around. And they get magic. Yeah, just I understand that it was done intentionally, but just because it was done intentionally doesn't mean I have to enjoy it. So I would rather just summon Moot here. Let elitist Puritans call me a fake gamer or whatever. I really don't care. It's a game. It's meant to be enjoyed. And if there's a part that you don't enjoy, I'm 100% completely fine with just using a strong method or piece of equipment to get through it without having to try or really apply yourself. Although, something I decided to do, we can go back to this. Something I decided to do was, because my health stat is at 60, which is as high as you should bring it, and my dexterity is at 80, which is as high as you should bring it, and I don't want to go into strength because this is the dex run, not the strength or quality run, and my endurance is at 40, which I think is completely fine. I decided might be good to go with into blood and just start leveling arcane or maybe mind. So right now we have 83 blood loss. If we go into arcane, still 83. I don't know if that's because our... Yeah, I need to sneeze. I had to sneeze so bad, I couldn't even breathe. And I could barely talk. And I hit mute, and immediately the need to sneeze completely vanished. I don't know why. I don't know why my nose is being so difficult. Yeah, I don't know if the blood loss buildup not going up, because it's been at 83 the entire time since my arcane was at like 9, I think. 9, 10, something like that. But the blood loss buildup hasn't gone up at all. I don't know if that's because they changed it and the arcane scaling just does damage instead of upping blood loss buildup, or if it's because my arcane is so low and I just need to get it higher. Could be either one of those. But for now, we can go around, grab all these. Cookbook 3 for Lulling Branch. Slowly builds up sleep while gradually restoring FP. Ooh. That sounds pretty good. I know that some people... I don't do it myself, but I know that some people have builds where they intentionally proc a status on themselves, and then they have equipment where if that status condition gets procced, it like boosts damage or whatever. Biggest ones are like poison and blood loss, and I think frenzy. So if there's a piece of equipment that does that for sleep, you could use that. Like, you could use this in order to proc that and also get FP back. Like I said, I personally don't use those builds, Not to say that they're bad, just not my personal play style. Same thing with, like, dual wielding the great sword. The, like, Guts Colossal Sword. I've heard that that's somewhat popular. And I have a friend of a friend who does that. Whereas I don't. Again, not to say that it's bad, it's just not my personal play style. Because I prefer to go more into something that's speedy and takes a bit less stamina, and dual wielding colossal swords doesn't really mesh with that super well.
Oh, I had something I wish to tell you. I'm heading south. I've recalled something that Sir Moore said. He discovered deep purple water lilies blooming on the southern shore. That must be where St Trina was left to wither away.
I mean, I could have told you that. I'm gonna purchase this not because I'm going to use it, but because it has Dex and Arcane. And I've got my Dex up to 80 and I'm leveling Arcane now. And also, again, he died in our first run. And I didn't get his bell bearing. And so I'd rather not permanently lose out on something like a weapon because of that. Yeah, we can make poison grease on our own.
Just give me the word if you need any more poison.
Well, can't really do that if you disappear, my man. Also, yeah, I have a lot of things marked. Because I have a lot of areas that I got to but didn't go through. We'll be doing... I don't know if we'll do all of them this run.
Oh, St Trina. What velvety ambrosia is this? Your poison and the sweet sleep that follows. Oh, please, let me hear your voice. Then you too must have paid a visit to St Trina's garden of deepest purple. I'm drifting off in the sea of her poison. Soon I will hear her voice. Let me be. I won't be long. Oh, I almost forgot. You mustn't follow my example. St Trina's poison would plunge you into an eternal slumber. It must be me, and only me. I am gone, adrift in sleep, so that I may hear St Trina's lost voice. Let me be. I won't be long. I am gone, so that let me be.
I'm kind of curious. If you kill him in his first location, will you get his armor set? Because his armor set looks pretty nice, and if I remember correctly, I believe the top two pieces give you a total of 5 arcane. Like 5 points into the arcane stat. And that would have been nice And that would have been a unique set to go through the rest of the DLC with. Even though it would have garbage defense and I wouldn't be able to use it against bosses. But it would have been neat. Yeah, I think we can finish this up. And then end this part. Hello, friends. How do you?
I am gone so that let me be.
I forget how many times you have to do this. I remember it was more than I expected in the first run. And I haven't done this on my second character because I wanted to keep buying Thiolier's concoctions. Even if it meant not getting the Putrescent Knight thing.
I am gone so that let me be.
How many times must I imbibe your nectar? Is it like 5 or 10? Something like that? Drop. Oh, this is it.
Mikkel, stop. Don't turn the poor thing into a god.
I know that she has more dialogue. I wonder if we have to do it again after talking to Thiollier.
Why won't you share your voice with me? Grant me more of your poison, that I might drift further into sleep. Perhaps then you'll grace me with your voice. Please, leave me alone. I'll thank you not to lie to me. I am the chosen, not you. Only I can doze off in the sea of St Trina. Why would you hear her voice when I cannot? If you should utter these cruel untruths to me again, I won't be held responsible for my actions. Please, enough. I cannot believe your cheek. And I will stand for it no longer.
No, you're sitting for it.
I will never forgive you.
For the pun? Understandable. I wouldn't forgive me for that either. But I'm still the main character. Probably shouldn't be. And yet in this world I am. It's a tragedy, but it's true.
Godhood would be Mikkel's prison. A caged divinity is beyond saving.
And that's supposed to be like a parallel to...
I will never forgive you. For your trespass, you will know my poison.
It's supposed to be a parallel to Medica. I tried to roll away, still got hit. Tried to dash back, still got it.
mislead me. Such strength, but for what?
Such strength? Just rely on Mimic here. St Trina's smile. Yeah, sleep in the vicinity increases attack power. So you can equip that. Still can't craft. For some reason. Still lose stamina when I jump and roll. Sir, why are you still aggroed on to me? I can talk, but you're still aggroed on to me. What is this?
You. I was no good to anyone. Beginning to end. Weak as a kitten, and thick as two planks. I suppose dying in disgrace is fitting, in a way. Tell me, please, assuming you spoke the truth back then. What did St Trina tell you? Tell me, please, assuming you spoke the truth back then. What did St Trina tell you?
Oh, I can't tell him? Strange. I love that he says, weak as a kitten and thick as two planks. And yet he's the summon for Radon. For peak Radon at that. Yeah, really giving us the best of the best for that fight, huh? Sip. Look, I wonder if you can get, like, the Horn Scent or Ansbach to help you as well. I hope so, that'd be better.
You must kill Mikilla. Grant him forgiveness.
That was the line I was thinking of when I said I know there's more. But yeah, throw on St. Trina's Smile and pop a Lolling Branch. It says slowly builds up sleep. I wonder how slowly. But yeah, fighting Radon, he did get buffed. In, I think it was patch 1.13. And I summoned him to help me with Radon before that. Although, if you watched, you'd know that I didn't beat Radon with him, I beat Radon without him.
Tell me, assuming you... What did...
Now we can pass on our words.
You are a wretched, wretched soul. A nightmare come to plague me. Such a thing could possibly be. Could it? St Trina, please let me hear your voice in my everlasting slumber. St Trina, let me hear your voice in my everlasting slumber.
Alright, well, we can end it here. We started off at the Finger Ruins of Rhea, and then we made our way down into the Stone Coffin Fissure, and we did this whole area. I don't know if we can call it completing St. Trina and Thioller's quest, because once you had Kill Radon, things continue one more step. But we got most of the way through. And we got some good stuff. Like, we got the Crimson Seed Talisman +1 for even better HP restoration from the Red Flask. We got a hefty Cracked Pot. We got the ability to craft Eternal Sleep Grease. We got the Velvet Sword of St Trina, which causes Eternal Sleep buildup, which is nice, and I kind of want to use one run. It is a dex weapon, but I don't really want to use it this run, but one run. But we got multi-layered Ring of Light incantation. We beat the Putrescent Knight. We got the ability to craft the Lulling Branch. We got the Deadly Poison Perfume Bottle. And St Trina's Smile. And we also got a Skidoo Tree fragment, and that was enough to get us another upgrade. So, pretty good progress. I'm happy with that, and yeah.